Hi, it's Holly, and I am so excited because spring has sprung. And today I saw a ramp, like not just one ramp, but a lot of ramps. They were about this tall, and I just almost had a car accident. If I ever do, it's because I was botanizing. Oh my word, I was so excited. But look at all this stuff. There's so much free for the knowing and the picking that's free to eat, that is all over the ground and coming up, and it's amazing. This is the way hunters and gatherers lived for centuries and centuries since the beginning of time. And I love reclaiming these green gifts. So anyway, I teach on Tuesdays between 11 and 12, Teaching Tuesdays with Wild Blessings. And you're welcome to join me. It's on a private Facebook group, so you'd have to ask for an invitation, and I will happily send you one. But my assignment to my students this week was to eat something green every day. And next week I'll assign the same thing because it's spring and all of these greens are so full of the minerals and vitamins that we need, that our cells need to thrive. So I'm making for dinner, I'm making hamburgers, and yes, I have made completely wild hamburgers, but I'm using actual hamburger meat. Did you know that there are some wild edible plants that are even higher in protein than hamburger? We'll talk about those when we get there, but they're not up yet. Incredible, because we need protein to live. And my mentor lived off the land, Linda Runyon, and her website is ofthefield.com. She's no longer with us, but her son Eric and Rosary run this amazing website, and so I recommend her materials so much. But anyway, they lived off the land without any meat. They were vegetarians. They didn't hunt or anything like that in the Adirondack Mountains for 13 years, and they thrived. So tonight, with my hamburgers, which are not wild, I'm making wild coleslaw. And the key to cooking wild or eating wild is just adding it into your regular favorite recipes. So what I foraged for today, I got so many things, and I got dandelion, and I got Queen Anne's lace, and I got garlic mustard, and right at the point where I wanted it. Like, these little babies are just blooming, or not blooming, they've got their buds. And so all of the energy, it's all about energy. All of the energy is in those buds. And so you want to get these leaves before the flowers come out. And so I got them pretty good. So I want a little bit of a oniony flavor in my coleslaw, and I chopped up some regular cabbage and some carrot, which I would ordinarily put into my coleslaw. And then I want an onion, but instead of actually using an onion from my pantry, I collected it at the foraging in my basket today. So this is chickweed, and it's mixed up with some of the garlic mustard. So chickweed is a delicious winter annual, or actually it's a perennial. It comes back every year, but it loves cold weather. So the key to eating well and making it enjoyable is to chop it really fine. Otherwise, it can be kind of stringy. And you can get rid of the extra stringiness. And as the heat comes of summer and so forth, you're not going to find chickweed because it really likes cold weather. But still, it's very meristematic and really flexible and super tasty. And so I'm going to just chop it all up, including the stems, because they're so tender right now. Later, they won't be. So it's kind of common sense. Like, remember when you were a kid going shopping with your mother, you would wonder, why did she take so long picking out a cantaloupe or watermelon or something? Well, it's because there's things that you're looking for. And so it's the same thing in shopping in the wild. You really want to have, to know what you're looking for and to get the tastiest possible and the most nutritious. Last week I taught on how to forage. And one of the things that's so important is to forage in a healthful place, because you can have an edible plant and forage for it where somebody is spraying with pesticides or herbicides and make it a toxic plant. So I found a ton of dandelions, but I need to find out if they have been sprayed before I harvest there. Okay, so I've got that chopped up pretty nice, and I'm just going to put that there. It's got all going to be mixed together. My sauce is something my son my son used to make up. He had a hot dog cart outside of Walmart many years ago. What was it? 12, 13 years ago. And he did really well. But his sauce for the coleslaw was mayonnaise, a little bit of sugar, and horseradish sauce. And so he had a formula which is secret, so I'm not going to share that. But I just do it to taste. Okay, so the same thing here with these little stems. They're still really tender, so I'm chopping them small because I want them. I want that nutrition from this garlic mustard. There are 3,200 garlic species, and all of them are edible. So I don't really know necessarily all the names of the garlic or of the mustards, but as long as they have 4 petals, 6 stamens, 4 of them are tall and 2 of them are short. The flower can be different colors, but it's a mustard. So, all right. Then the other thing I'm making with my dinner tonight, and we'll talk about this in a second, but I'm making baked beans. So I just have pinto beans, and then I'm making, Betty Thomas, this is for you, hon. Every year I go to forage off of her phenomenal farm, organic farm called Creek Song Farm. She lets me have her weeds. And I always give her some wild barbecue sauce, autumn olive berry barbecue sauce. And so I made my own ketchup with autumn olive berry. And so I've got that for a ketchup. I added onion, just regular onion. I added pepper and mustard and a little bit of brown sugar. And I added the most important thing in a barbecue sauce is liquid smoke. Super yummy. So I'm just going to put a little bit of Betty's barbecue sauce into my beans, mix it around, and I'll mix this up later and show you a picture of it mixed. But this is going to be cooking on the stove and it tastes delicious. If I really want to add some nice oomph to it, I can use my frozen autumn olive berries that I have a little bit left. I've been cherishing these. I probably had 5 gallons of them after foraging last fall. And now this is all I have. But Betty's worth it, so I'm going to throw, whoops, those are mine. But I'm going to throw them into hers and can that up for her so that she'll have a nice treat. If you forage off of someone's land, always give them a thank you, a wild jelly or something like that. Okay, let me tell you what it is I'm doing here. I'm going to come back after dinner and I'm going to share with you how I bring spring inside. Thank you for joining me.